Hey everyone, Cozett here, and I am with Bates Reed.
Nice to see you guys again.
Yes,
Good to be here.
CHI Farms CSA. And so, as promised, I am back with part 2 of Cozett Contemplates community. And so last week I did a part 1 video with Bates talking about the amazing things that he is doing with CHI Farms CSA for our community, for Chattanooga and some of the surrounding areas. Y'all get this, fresh produce, as local as possible produce, delivered right to your door. So we're not talking fast food, we're talking living, alive foods coming straight to you. Minimal contact, minimal handling, and we know that that's super important right now, right, Bates?
The cleaner you can get it, the better.
Yeah.
You know? I still say eat the dirt with the vegetables if you can, but you still need to wash the vegetables because the dirt's actually good for you.
Yeah, because there's minerals, right?
Well, there's minerals, there's microbes that help your body be stronger. You know, that's part of one of the things with this whole pandemic is that we sometimes, you know how people get when they get so clean that their body becomes allergic to more and more and more.
Right.
So I think one of the real important things that we can remember in a time like this, not, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I've been doing nutrition my whole life and I know what works for me, so I can share that. But is it's okay to get dirty. It's okay to pick up a chicken. It's okay to drop something on the ground and eat it. The 30-second rule.
Yeah, 30-second rule.
10-second rule or whatever that is. But I really believe, especially in times like this, that if we don't eat the right things and we don't, I guess, just keep it's a weird thing to say, but keep ourselves a little dirty. Don't be so clean that when something new comes into your environment, your body just rejects it.
Sure.
Especially, you know, now with COVID virus. I mean, you know, we need a strong immune system, and that's what we're talking about doing, is building a strong immune system.
Exactly. With living food, nutritious food, it's so very
non-processed food wherever possible.
Yes.
And that's what our cooperative partners, our cottage industry partners do. You know, they're making things with their hands. It's not processed. It's close to your mother's kitchen as you're going to get, and we're just trying to keep it as healthy as possible, and even create things like even have partners that we have a partner that is colloidal silver.
Oh,
so
nice.
Colloidal silver, you know, he does it himself right here in Chattanooga, and we offer that. Thanks, Eric. And so, you know, we can offer those kind of things, and we can offer. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're good. We're
on.
just flowing with this. Like I've said so many times before on my channel, my goal is not to be a YouTuber. I'm just loving my community and loving sharing the things that have positively impacted my life. So, you know, we're not going to come off as these famous YouTubers, unfortunately, and hard to believe, right? So last video we talked about how people they get this lovely produce box delivered straight to their door. So we understand that there's vegetables, there's fruits, but like you were saying, you've got these cottage industry partners. And so on your website, I have seen some really cool items like elderberry syrup. You're talking about Eric, right, who does the colloidal silver.
Correct.
You have local food artisans who make homemade breads. So talk to me a little bit more about maybe the cottage industry partners and the food artisans part of the CHI Farms CSA.
Well, like I said, this year when we started, we had our CSA box, which consists of 5 vegetables and a fruit, 5 different types of vegetables and a fruit. You get a lot more than that. But, and it's $32, and basically you're having that delivered to you. And within that box, you can also have eggs. I do a lot of my own eggs. I have 2 other egg partners, you know, with my own hens, but I've got 2 other egg partners that have their own hens, and we coordinate back and forth on Tuesdays on my days, you know, to pick up foods. I pick up eggs, I pick up local honeys, I pick up the breads, we pick up cookies. We had a whole line of prepared meals this year that we utilized, and we picked those up from Keith. And those, I guess those were the main ones. The elderberry syrup started here a couple of weeks ago, and she makes that fresh for you the day before you get it. So that's Jamie. Thank you, Jamie.
Nice.
But so I had vegetables coming from different partners too, from the farms that I've been using for 5 years in Dayton when I was running my the first CHI Farms, and I had my own organic farm in Pikeville. I took some from that organic farm. I took some from Pikeville over on Dayton Mountain. I took, rhubarb. There's another friend that has some rhubarb ready, and she goes, I've got rhubarb, but I can't get there. And I'm like, I can't get all the way to Pikeville this week on Tuesday. So we didn't have rhubarb in the last box. So it comes from a little bit of everywhere. And then when we get into fall, my produce is going to come from the same place like Linda's produce comes from, probably more than likely. But I think I'll even have a little bit better than that from where I get some of my sources. So, but it changes, and now we're getting ready to go. We're getting ready to go into spring. We're getting ready to go into fall. Spring comes, everybody's ready to eat those yummy vegetables because it's been fall and winter, and they haven't had them for a while. But it's not like that everywhere. You go to some places in the country, they eat their vegetables all year long. And I think that's important to remember. I mean, maybe we're going to talk about this later, but it's really important to remember, keep eating your vegetables through the fall and through winter, because with us sitting in front of this TV set, we're all working, a lot of people are working now, but you're still sitting in front of that TV, we're still quarantined. Keep putting that much sugar into your body, that many carbs into your body, you gain weight, you become more unhealthy. And that's not what we're trying to achieve. We're all trying to be physically fit, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Body, soul, and spirit. And so to do that, what my thing is, I want to provide things that will nourish your body, even if it's not all organic, even if it has something sprayed on it. You wash that off, but you're still eating a live vegetable. You're eating something that will nurture your cells and regenerate them and not destroy them like sugars will, which come from carbs and breads. And we love our cookies and cakes, and I'm going to be offering those, but those aren't something you eat every day to keep your body healthy.
Exactly.
I mean, I might eat them every day. I try not to.
but we know that sugar can be very inflammatory. So
well, and as you get older, that sugar, your liver, your kidneys, they can't process it. So everybody, when they get older, if they've eaten too many sugars and carbs and things like that, they start having problems going to the bathroom and those kind of things. And that happens as you get older and older and older. You don't notice it up until you're 40 or 50 years old. Then all of a sudden something's starting to look a little different. Well, it's what you're eating.
Yes, for sure. And that was like one of the things that jumped out to me whenever I saw your ad on Facebook, because it's so easy, especially, since we're in this pandemic, the quarantine, the lockdown, it's so easy to get on an app, right, and order fast food, right, that's not necessarily healthy, not even necessarily real food.
You don't know what you're getting out there.
We're not going to go down that rabbit trail.
Well, I was watching something recently, like on a regular, I'm not going to name names of hamburger companies, there can be up to, in that patty you get, of course the patty's not that big, the patty's about that. They keep getting smaller. But that patty can have up to 500 different animal parts in it. I mean, from different animals.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's just something I've studied and watched. And I'm like, well, that makes it really disgusting.
Yeah.
So we're going to change that too with what we're getting ready to do in the fall too, and bringing you local meats from literally Chickamauga, Georgia.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's
we gotta
awesome.
we gotta eat healthy in these times and all
do.
times, and hopefully we can help be the incentive to allow you to eat healthier. By having it brought directly to your door instead of you having to go out and get it when you didn't want to go get it.
Yeah, exactly. And that was what that kind of got me. I was like, okay, so instead of having fast food, I can have really great, nutritious vegetables come right to my door, just like if I had gotten onto an app and ordered something else, right? And just knowing that resource is available here locally, I just encourage everyone to really take advantage of that. So you had mentioned how we are transitioning into fall, right?
Yeah.
So what are some things, do you have like any seasonal updates for CHI Farms? How are things going to change with the produce? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, before we get into that, one of the things that I want to do is I'm leaving, I'm on vacation. I've got the billing to do for last week, and then I'll officially be on vacation, and I'm so excited. Thank you, God. Thank you. And I just want to be grateful too for all of you, and I want to say thank you all for supporting what we're doing. By you buying those products, at least 2 to 3 people, the way it is right now, get a free CSA box because they are having I don't know how to put that. They're having a hard time getting food.
Right.
So this gives people some fresh vegetables and foods throughout the week. Those that can purchase help those that can't.
Yes.
So we call that CHI feed, and so life force feed, life energy, pure energy, feeding people. That's what it means. So I'm going to go out and rest now and put together all the people that have now come to me throughout these 2 seasons, spring and summer, have started saying we have things we'd like to offer. So I'm going to go out and we're going to do, as I'm traveling out west, I think we're going to do some Zooms, and I may be in Moab, Utah or something. I don't know where I'll be, but maybe we'll talk about, what I found along the road as far as health and nutrition and what's happening in other parts of the country, and maybe just the environment. I don't know what we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk a little spiritual conversation about something. I don't know. That keeps getting fuzzy, doesn't it?
I just saw it get fuzzy.
It's done it a couple of times, but so anyway, as I'm out there, we're going to have some of these conversations, and as everything comes together better with what we're bringing together for autumn, for October, we'll let you know that. But yeah, right now we've got fresh meats coming on board. I'm not going to say who or what because I want to save all that and get it all right so you can see the pictures.
Yeah.
But we have fresh meats, fresh hamburger, fresh steaks coming, USDA, straight from them to you. I'm just the delivery service. We've got fresh juices, so you'll be able to get a quart of juice or a half gallon of fresh juice. You'll have some options, but it's as fresh as it comes. I promise you that. We will have some breads. We've got some yummy cookies coming. We've got. I'm a little tired, y'all. I've got.
What about milk? Didn't you?
We got fresh milk from the farm coming, and really, I've never really drank it before because they kept talking about this cream that gets on the top of the milk. But I always thought of like buttermilk cream.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's just when you taste that and you get that cream like on your lips, you're like, that's just cream.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste bad or anything. It tastes wonderful. So I actually got to experience that buttermilk cream with my my recent jug.
Very cool.
So, and I get to take that jug with me now. I've got my glass container to carry my water with me on my trip out west, which is great.
There you go.
So,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, so we got that, and so there's other things coming. Sauces for your foods, fresh from this summer and into the fall. So I think what I'm really trying to do is create a basic health kit.
Okay.
Oh, CBD products for your health. So we'll have a whole line of
big.
CBD products as well for you, and from salves to smokables to things you eat to hemp hearts, which have more protein in them than I believe anything else.
Wow.
And then the regenerative quality of the hemp, the CBD, is really what we will be educating people on, because we're not coming to you selling it to you in a convenience store where you're just getting it.
Right.
I have people that will help educate you and much wiser at this information than I am as far as knowledge goes, and they're going to be here helping us make videos and explain that stuff to you too, so that if there are things going on with your body, we can work with you to heal your body with the things we're bringing to your table.
Awesome.
In all aspects.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's our goal.
Yeah, I love that.
And our goal beyond that is to duplicate this little sustainable business for other cities. We've already done it. We got a partner now in Nashville. So we'll just keep duplicating these, and we're going to give away this information to people in different towns and cities where they'd like to start communities, to where we can support our healthy communities as we, and that's one thing we were talking about earlier, is really what does it take to build community?
Right.
And I've been living in communities my entire life, striving to live in them, lived in them, help build them, help just from all different aspects, from spiritual communities to just intentional and sustainable communities.
Yeah.
So we're seeing more and more of that happening. More people are homesteading. More people want to be in community. I may have spent a lifetime doing it, and other people may have spent a lifetime doing it, but now, because what Corona's done and the way we see the world, we're realizing we want to find loving family members or partners, but we have to learn to live in community if we're going to do that, so we can support each other when it gets harder to get food, or when there's a big storm like just happened yesterday and it's happening now.
Yeah.
You know, we as community, we need to be able to call on each other when we know what our skills and gifts are, and that's what we're going to be talking about in Community 2 on more Cozett stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And this will come, we'll talk a little bit about it right now, just because there's some things that are really coming into my heart as you're saying that, but it's definitely something that we are going to cover, like, even in future videos, because I feel it's so important. So I feel like right now, one of the golden opportunities that has been given to us by this coronavirus, we get a chance to re-envision community, right? Because essentially, one of the things that has been so greatly altered is our sense of community, right? We've been having to quarantine, we can't see family, we can't see friends the way that we were used to, and because of that, we're not taking those relationships for granted anymore either, right? So I'm a big time introvert, and in the past I have struggled with anxiety and panic disorder, and so in the past it would be such that if I would get invited anywhere or want to go somewhere, I would either feel a sense of dread or a sense of anxiety. Not so now, because things have just, coronavirus has flipped the script, but I want to take advantage of that now. And so what you're talking about with CHI Farms CSA, I love that it takes it a step beyond just, you know, delivering the nutritious foods, but you are actually networking and co-oping and building community, right? And you've told me before that you've talked with people, like, as you're delivering food, you get to hear their stories.
Yeah, man, that's the beautiful part. You know, the people we deliver to, we're not just dropping off food. We're building a relationship with you. We want to be your friend. We want to serve you and love you. And even when we're doing the foods, you know, we bless all the food as we're doing it, literally, by taking that Reiki energy and holding it around our food and intentionally blessing with love and doing what we do in love, so that food is infused with love by the time you eat it and put it in your mouth. And in that, because of my spiritual experiences, I know the healing that comes from having your food blessed and healed. That's why we pray over our food. You know, we're taught to do that from a young age. Where did that come from? Well, it came from a lot of things. It came from our spiritual understanding. It came from shamans. It came from indigenous people. It came from Native Americans blessing their food, putting love into the food before they ingest it into the body, so that it can heal the body. And that's the way our communities ought to be built.
Ought to be.
Is everything we do is that we do it in love, so that we heal our communities from within us, from the next person to the next person, as we build community. So those are things we'll be talking about, because that's really, it's about building community, but you got to start somewhere.
You do.
And you got to start with you first, and then you build a healthy you, just like with the soul. Once you learn to love yourself, then you can learn to love other people. Till you learn to love yourself, you're not really very good at loving other people. Actually, it come across as kind of ugly, and we don't want that. We don't want to be those ugly characters out there in the political world who are serving themselves rather than loving themselves and serving others. There's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
So that's the kind of world we're talking about living in and creating, and we have absolutely the ability to do that. And so that's what we're doing.
That's awesome. I love how the sense of community, it's built over the understanding that food is sacred, right?
Absolutely.
And that food is a tool, right, for health and empowerment and vitality. Yeah. And you and I had talked right before we started this video how food delivery and fast food has hijacked community in the sense that it has turned sacred food into retailism, right? Commercialism. Our food has been so commercialized, and because of that, it has hijacked these golden opportunities to connect intimately with each other and with community. So
but you know what's been beautiful about the pandemic as well, how many people have started really loving their food and at home. The stories we hear from not only people we're delivering to, but just people in general. The trend is so many people are staying in their kitchens and learning how to fix and prepare really amazing foods and meals and bringing that part of their character out, which is beautiful.
Yes, yeah. Speaking of, so I've definitely been spending more time in the kitchen. And I just recently learned how to prepare a Kurdish dish.
Okay.
And so I was able to do that with a lot of the produce that I got out of my CHI Farms CSA box.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
So what was this Kurdish dish?
I cannot remember the name
right.
of it.
That's a Kurdish name.
But it's a Kurdish dish, and essentially it is like ground beef with several different spices, but then you put in the vegetables that you want in it. So I put in like potato and some other things out of my box. I don't remember. Suffice it to say, it gives us an opportunity to be creative and to try new things. And
because you don't know what you're getting every week.
Yeah.
You don't know what foods are coming in the CSA box, so it forces people to explore. And there's so many, and I really like this because so many of our patrons and friends now are like, I never know what I'm getting, but it pushes me to learn how to prepare that meal. Like Caitlin. She's like, I didn't get the purple one.
The red cabbage?
No,
the eggplant?
The eggplant.
Yeah.
Purple. What's the purple one? She said, I didn't get it last time, and I kept thinking, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to learn something to do with this. And this time she says, for sure I'm doing it, So it was fun going to her door, and she's all excited about, oh, I get a chance to do the eggplant. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm sorry this keeps getting fuzzy, you guys.
Yeah, my camera, I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Weird, but anyway, it's okay, we're fuzzy.
Yeah,
It'll
work. It'll work. We'll work out the bugs later. But yeah, so that is awesome. So if people want to connect with the work that you're doing, of course, he's taking a vacation, well deserved. But what do they need to do? How can people contact you and get signed up for these amazing CSA boxes?
I think there's a couple things that would be most important to do. Go to chifarms.org and just look at our website. Get in there and sign up if you can. Put your name and start an order or start something, even though you can't order anything till October anyway. But get in there just so I have your information, and that way when we send out emails, you'll get the emails as well. On Facebook, that'd be the next most important thing to go to is CHI Farms CSA on Facebook, and right underneath the main picture there's a little message button. Hit that message button, and that's where you message me. I won't lose your messages there. If you send me messages or questions on live streams or just on Messenger or other places, I'll see it. I might be in the middle of doing something else. I didn't write it down, and I lose you, and I don't remember what it was that I'm like, oh, somebody wanted something, and it was this, but who was it? That I have to start this rabbit trail. So if you could go to CHI Farms CSA on Facebook and send messages, or directly from the chifarms.org, there's a message board there that comes to me. I don't look at my emails as much as I look at
Gotcha.
The Facebook thing, even though, anyway, so those are the best two ways. You can call me, 423-800-9043, 423-800-9043, and I can talk to you about anything you'd like to talk about. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Now, I don't always answer my phone because there's so many robocalls on 423 that usually it's a robocall. So maybe text me first, say, hey, I'm calling you, this is my number. That way, when I see the text, I see you call, and I'll pick up the phone, especially if I'm out working and stuff. I usually wear a thing around my head so I can talk to you and work and use my hands at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to do that as long as it's not a robocall.
Very good.
So those are the best ways. Did I miss anything?
No. They can also follow you on YouTube, right? CHI Farms CSA.
It's either CHI Farms. I think it's CHI Farms CSA
I think it's
on
CHI Farms
YouTube.
CSA,
because CHI Farms will take you off to some other country. Some other YouTube.
Yeah. We're CHI Farms. He's CHI Farms CSA.
Right.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I so appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing for our community. and I hope that your trip is amazing. Stay tuned because we're going to be doing some videos from Bates while he is on the road. He's going to capture some amazing locations.
We may meditate, we may sit and meditate together.
Yeah.
We may do, we may be just looking at something incredible that I'd like to take you on the journey with me.
Love it.
So maybe we'll do some live stuff. But I really appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate just being able to do something I love and serve in love. And I'm just going to take you all on the journey with me. And thank you for taking me on the journey with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing
Thanks,
journey. You're so welcome. Well, thank you so much. Guys, stay tuned. Check out my YouTube channel, Cozett Contemplates. And it is where I contemplate and think aloud on all things sustainability, spirituality, things that are just important to me and that have positively impacted my life. Okay? We
Thanks,
love you
guys.
guys. Love Chattanooga. Good night.
Good night.